5 years ago, a landmark decision was made.
India is one today, equal in love.
Apex Court has delivered its verdict on petitions challenging the validity of gay sex.
As the youth of tomorrow, we need to be who we are. We cannot be somebody else for the law.
It was a huge victory for India's LGBTQI plus community. But 5 years on, have things changed for the better?
Estimates on LGBTQI plus population vary. According to the Indian government, there are about 2.5 million Indians who identify themselves as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender or queer. Though LGBTQI plus rights organizations estimate the figure could be as high as 135 million.
As India heads to the polls, the question is, will the parliament and its members uphold the rights of India's sexual minorities and take a big step to say yes to same-sex marriage?
Ashish and Inder have been in a relationship for 12 years and lived through a time when just being together was illegal.
Back then, even Section 377 was in our lives. I mean, back then we were criminals. So at that point in time, we had no support from the judicial system.
There was a little to no political opposition. Officially, the ruling BJP took a neutral stance on the Supreme Court's verdict. For Ashish and Inder, it meant they felt safer.
Then we were still scared and everything. Now we are so comfortable. Like, the way things are going.
But last year, the community faced another setback. The Supreme Court ruled against legalizing same-sex marriage in a major blow to India's LGBTQI plus community.
India's Supreme Court has made a precedent-setting ruling on same-sex marriage.
India's Supreme Court has ruled against legalizing same-sex marriage.
The Supreme Court said the matter of marriage equality should be decided by the parliament. The BJP-led government successfully challenged the same-sex marriage case in the Supreme Court, arguing that marriage must be between a biological man and woman, that only Parliament has the right to decide on the institution of marriage, and there could even be detrimental impacts on children raised by homosexual couples.
It was disheartening.
Towards the end, it was completely
It changed drastically. The first two judges, they were very pro, and then just went down a little.
But they are not alone in their struggle.
I personally did not see it coming. I thought that at least they will go to, civil partnership sort of a thing.
Sakshi and Naina have been together for 4 years, and like Ashish and Inder, were disappointed with the same-sex marriage ruling. For them, there is little point in waiting for politicians to give the LGBTQI plus community the rights they are seeking.
We've seen and experienced over the years of how easy it is for various political parties to take up issue as and when convenient to them, but how much do they deliver, and on a larger scale, it's still non-existent.
Their disillusionment with the political system and process is common. As I visit Varisha and her partner Shreya,
for them, we are vote banks.
Varisha and Shreya have been together for 3 years. They are equally disenchanted by the government in power and believe the political process is failing them in the wake of the same-sex verdict.
They fought against it. The government was fighting against the verdict. Nobody, they were the one who opposed it, right?
As the three couples struggle to have their unions legalized, how will they be voting in this election?
And it's just not both of us. Our entire family, our entire support system, our friends and allies, everybody will support the political group who supports us,
For me, it's more about the hygiene of that party. No one is clean, then you pick the lesser evil. Again, with the hope that, at least they will move something.
I really would not want to vote this government in power, personally.
100%. There is no
way that I would want to do that because of the harm that they are doing, not just for the community, but there are so many other communities that they are harming.
The rights provided to India's transgender community offers hope. 10 years ago, a landmark court ruling recognized transgender as a third separate identity, and that Indians have the right to choose their gender.
I think the ayes have it, the bill is passed.
It's meant to ban discrimination against transgender people.
But this law also requires trans Indians to register themselves with the government if they wish to be officially recognized as transgender.
And they are only allowed to get married as long as it's a heterosexual union. This drew strong opposition from the trans community.
As India continues to change socially, what does the future look like?
I spent a day with two members of Swikar, the Rainbow Parents. It's a group formed by parents of Indian LGBTQI+ children with the aim of supporting and accepting their child's sexual orientation. Founding member Aruna Desai is the mother of Abhishek Desai, who identifies as a gay person. Supriya Gosavi works at a trans shelter home and is a proud mother of trans women Nishtha Nishant.
My son came out in 2007 when he was 17-year old. So I just asked him, your friend is gay, are you also gay? He just got up and came and hugged me and started crying and started asking me, Mama, do you still love me? Are you ashamed of it? Do you hate me now? I was like, no, I love you even more now.
It was a different story for Supriya, who struggled at first to comprehend her son wanting to be a woman.
मग स्वीकार ग्रुपला सांगितलं माझी स्टोरी, त्यांनी ऐकून घेतलं. त्यांच्या म्हणजे बरेच पेरेंट्स होते, अरुणाताई तर होत्याच इथे, मग त्यांनी त्यांचे अनुभव सांगितले. मग कुठे जाऊन असं मला वाटलं की नाही, मी चूक करते काहीतरी. म्हणजे माझ्या मुलाला मी ओळखलं नाही आहे, त्याची आयडेंटिफाय मी नाही ओळखली. मी ऐकलं वगैरे सगळं, खूप रडली मी तेव्हा. मग नंतर मी घरी आली आणि असं वाटलं की नाही, मी फार मोठी चूक करत होती. मग मी त्याला हक करून वगैरे थोडंसं हे केलं. मग नंतर झालंय, मग थोडं हळूहळू मग बदल होत गेले सगळ्या गोष्टीमध्ये. मग मी त्याला ॲक्सेप्ट केलं वगैरे.
These mothers are calling on India's political leaders to give their children and others like them the fundamental rights to something that's long been sacred in Indian society.
If marriage is allowed for heterosexual people, why not for, non-heterosexual people?
From the queer couples to the parents, all are asking for basic human rights. But are politicians listening? As this general election rolls on, there is little to suggest any significant change. But one thing is common for everyone in this story, that they will never give up the fight.
I have come with a positive attitude throughout my life, and I will still keep the same. I say, okay, yes, we need that, and it will happen.
I no longer want it to be just marriage, just adoption, just insurance and just bank account. I want everything that is offered to a law-abiding citizen of this country.
And why shouldn't I get married? Like, if I want to, I'm literally a wedding photographer. Like, that's my profession. Girl, you know how many queers are going to come dressed as themselves for my wedding?